Well, I appreciate you guys that did decide to come to be here today, as usual. Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families, for real. I do mean that. Looking back at the Michigan game, I thought our players came in dialed in. As I said after the game, obviously disappointed. Don't believe in moral victories at all. But I do feel like our guys were dialed in preparation for the game. Played with tremendous energy, played with tremendous effort. Our defense for the last couple of weeks, I think, have played well enough for us to win. On offense, we outscored their offense, but the turnovers. You don't win big games losing the turnover battle. And, losing that turnover battle 3-1 is costly. It's the part of our program development that we have got to get fixed. And we're doing everything we can and we'll continue to do everything we can to get that part fixed. We wanted that win for our seniors in the worst way, a breakthrough win, but there were some things that I feel we can take away from it that we can build off of as we head into the finale. With Rutgers, probably one of the most improved teams in the country, not just in the Big Ten. And I give a lot of credit to Greg and his staff and their program and those players for the work they're doing up there. I know it's hard. We're going through some of the same things, and we both came into the league at the same time. They started 6-2, and although they dropped 3 in a row, they faced 3 of the best defenses in the country the last 3 weeks, and they're extremely talented. They're running back number 5, their quarterback. When you look at them on defense, they don't give you anything. And I say this week in and week out, but this is one of those defenses that they don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't do a lot, but what they do really, really, really well. And it's a testament to how well coached they are and how they want to win. They want to win by winning the vertical field position game on special teams. And when you look at how they play special teams, they make a lot of plays, whether it's, the different array of kicks that their kicker can do in the kickoff game, fake punts, some exotic formations on their punt team. You can tell that they're doing things to create an advantage in the special teams, and we need to match that and do a better job this week in how we play in the special teams guy in the game. On offense, they try to shrink the game. They don't, run a bunch of plays. They're not a big tempo team. They want to run the football. They want to control the time of possession, and they're going to make you make the plays. They're not going to give you anything. And so really strong defensive team, and I know they'll be looking to send their seniors out the right way and win with their home field advantage. For us, it's all about finishing the right way and finding a way. You're usually judged, most books, movies, relationships, what you remember most is the end. And for this 2023 iteration of Maryland football family, this is the end of the regular season. And as you guys know, the bowl game to me is the start of next year. So this is the crescendo for us. This is us needing to find a way to win on the road. Huge difference between 7-5 and 6-6. And it definitely plays a huge role in where we go bowling. So still a lot to play for our team. We have a chance to guarantee a 3rd straight winning season, a winning record on the road this year, something we haven't done. And then most importantly, sending our seniors out the right way during their final regular season games wearing the Terps uniform. Our game captains this week, Sean Greeley, Corey Dyches, Tarheeb Steele, and Bo Braid. And with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Mike, Saturday's the final regular season game for Taulia Tagovailoa. Given everything that happened in the quarterback position before he got here, how important was him coming here and succeeding to what you've built so far?
Yeah, as I've said before, Leah has played an important role in the foundation. Anybody that is a Terps supporter or fan like I have been my whole life knows that, the quarterback position over the last 10, 15 years has not been a settled position here, whether it's injuries, whether it's transfers, it's just never been settled. And so to be able to have a guy that started 4 years here has done some tremendous things in terms of laying a foundation for our program. You know, you can't put a value on what him coming here has done for us. Definitely elevated our program, or at least created a foundation that I think we will be able to build on. And even more importantly, has shown that, you know, if you're a quarterback in the country and you want to have an opportunity to do some really special things, you can come here, and this system is a system that is a quarterback-driven system on offense and we always have really good skills. So I think Leah has become a poster child for what we want to try to recruit, the type of quarterbacks we want to recruit. And, you know, we all know that if you have a quarterback, you have a chance. And we've had a quarterback around here for the last 4 years, and we'll miss his ability, but we're really happy for what he's been able to do for our program.
And with what Rutgers does defensively, what becomes more of a priority for Leah this Saturday?
Take care of the football. It's simple and plain. I mean, we take care of the football, we win games. When we lose that turnover battle and, you know, the explosive play battle, we won this weekend. I think it was 7-5 or 7-6 based on, you know, I think Michigan had 6 explosives in terms of runs and passes, and we had 7. But the turnover battle and those critical turnovers in some of these games have been costly. And, you know, to go win on the road up against Rutgers, we've got to take care of the football.
Coach, obviously there are some financial incentives for you with this game. Is that something you think about at all, hitting that 7th win for the?
Not at all. I mean, those things take. I would coach for free, and I have coached for free over the years. So, no, the financial incentives for me aren't important as it is for these kids. And anybody that knows me knows that these kids come first.
And then, are there any players who you know this will be their last Maryland game?
Yeah, the guys that we honored last week, our seniors.
That aren't going to be playing in the bowl game.
Oh, I haven't even approached any of those type of questions. I mean, we're worried about this game right now and trying to get number 7. Do you know of any not planning on playing?
Not yet.
Okay, all right. Let me know if you hear.
You talked about the similar struggles that Rutgers and Maryland have faced coming into the Big Ten. Can you elaborate on?
I didn't say the struggles we face. I said we both came in at the same time, and it's hard.
Similar challenges.
Okay, better word.
Can you elaborate on what those challenges have been and how you've seen both programs navigate them?
You're a new kid on the block. I mean, you come in, you know, we've been a part of this league since 2014 like they have. It's not, you know, when you're new, you get the bottom of the scheduling is always tough. You know, it's hard. We both have similar challenges in that we're trying to grow programs against a conference that has quite a few teams that are what most of us would consider blue blood programs. And, you know, you go to travel to Nebraska and you see they had 395 straight sellouts. And, you know, as a coach, you look at that and think, man, they've had some lean years, but their support's still there. So we both face similar challenges. We're in major metropolitan areas. Everybody comes and recruits in our backyards, and we're grinding to develop programs to compete for championships.
Coach, your teams.
Emmett, what's up, man?
How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Your teams have had a lot of success against Rutgers the last 2 years. The games haven't been particularly competitive, but you mentioned Rutgers being, you know, one of the most improved teams in the country. What is it about this year's Rutgers team that you feel like has taken that jump?
I mean, they've taken on the personality of Greg. I mean, they are tough, hard-nosed, really disciplined. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They know who they are. They know how they want to win. Their players have bought into all of the things, you know, whether it's, you know, shrinking the game, running the football, protecting the football. You know, that quarterback, he makes them go. They've got 2 good tailbacks. You know, their defensive front, like I said, they know who they want to be. They know what they want to run, and they create problems for you with some of the scheme things because they're not going to make mistakes and allow you to kind of create the big plays. They're going to make you drive the ball down the field and win the game. They're not going to give it to you.
Hi, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
What's up, David?
Hi. To follow up on Dave's question about Talia, his not having the record-breaking season that he had last year, how is obviously winning most being most important to him? But is that something that he's like thought about? Is like, I'm not playing as well, or is it just the turnovers? And also,
You're asking me if that's what
Uh,
Leah's thinking, or you asking me if that's
do
what
you
I'm
guys
thinking?
talk about it? Like,
Yeah.
are you saying it's not about how you played last year? What have you seen in terms of maybe his growth, despite the turnovers and not having the record breaking and the explosive plays that we've seen in previous years?
Well, first and foremost, like all the turnovers haven't been Leah turnovers, so I'm not clumping turnovers. When I was asked the question of what Leah needs to do, well, as a quarterback, he needs to protect the ball, but we've had turnovers by receivers, we've had turnovers by, sack fumbles, things like that. So by no means am I putting the turnovers on Leah. And the things we talk about, I mean, he's a player, I'm a coach, we make corrections, but do I spend time talking about the negative things? No, I'll let you guys write that, man. I'm super positive with what we need to do. I'm a solution-based guy. I can point out the problems as well as you guys can, but unfortunately, I've taken the road of, instead of continuing to point out what we haven't done, I'm gonna point out what we need to do and how we're gonna do it. And that's what leaders do. They kind of find ways to come up and lead and get us through the tough stretch and find a way to go win a tough game on the road. And that's what we'll do this week. Is we'll put together a plan. Our players, as I've told you guys here, and hopefully you guys see it now, these guys, they fight, they compete. There's no quit in this team, and that's to me, that's something that we can build upon. And our quarterback's the same way. He's a fighter. So I have no doubt in my mind that he wants to go out the right way, wants to find a way to get number 7. And I know that we'll do the necessary things throughout this week, even though it's Thanksgiving week, to prepare ourselves to go up and put our best foot forward on Saturday.
Mike, I know this is not your first rodeo, but what's the challenge of trying to prepare when you have a holiday right in the middle of the week?
Yeah, you still get the work done. I mean, like right now, the thing we've done is we're moving practices up a little bit because they don't have school now. And so that allows us to do more recovery on the back end. When you play the type of schedule we play in the Big Ten and 9 regular season games against some of the best teams in the country, by the end of the year, you're a little banged up. And so we try to, moving practices up gives us more time on the back end for recovery. But the reps we take, the meetings we have, none of that changes because of the holiday. We just kind of, as coaches, it's a little tougher on us than it is the players because the practice planning, when you move up practice 2 hours, now you lose 2 hours during the day that you typically can use for game planning. So now we're doing a little extra work in the evenings, which it is what it is. We've had to do it. We've got a really good schedule of how to navigate Thanksgiving, and our players are used to it. So it hasn't been that big of a deal for us.
I also want to ask you about Kellen Wyatt. What have you seen in his development? Is this what you anticipated from him in his second year as a full-time starter?
Yeah, he's turning into one of those guys that I see that's going to be one of those leaders for our program. Coming out of the Spalding program, and we love recruiting Spalding. You look at some of the kids that we have in our program that are from there, and the job Kyle Schmidt's done building it. I think they just won back-to-back MIAA championships, and a former Turk, Kyle, leading their program and has built that program the way that I'd love to build this one. And so Kellen fits right in with some of that stuff. He's a tremendous competitor. He loves football. He's a football guy. We talk about guys that play the game the right way. He's one of those guys. But it's not surprising because when you look at Spalding and the job Kyle has done down there with his program, it's not surprising why they win championships and why Kellen ends up being the type of player he's been for us.
Hey, Coach. I know you.
What's up, Ahmed?
What's going on, Coach? I know you kind of talked on just the defense a little bit, but obviously just with the defense playing against the Blake Corum last week, and then obviously the 2 tailbacks that Rutgers has this week. What have you kind of seen the growth and development kind of from the run defense so far, and then what do you feel like maybe some of the things that you have to do to limit Rutgers?
Yeah, I think the big thing with our run defense is over the years, as you can see, when we walk out the tunnel, we've recruited size on the D-line, and to win in the Big Ten, you got to win in the trenches. And one of the Achilles' heels for this season has been us on the offensive line, and that's the area where we've got the same improvements we made on the defensive line. We lost 4 starters from a year ago. I think 2 of the 4 are playing in the NFL, and the third should probably be playing in the NFL. But to me, I think our defensive line and our front seven plays with a physicality that you need to play with in the Big Ten. To stop Rutgers' run game, we got to have another game like we had a week ago. Last week was our best tackling game of the year, and it was a physical game. When you watch the tape, it was a very physical game up front. Our guys did a really good job of being gap sound and really did a really good job of tackling in space and a bunch of hats to the ball, which didn't allow the ball to break last week. And it's going to take that same type of effort this week.
Mike, I think the biggest question this week is stuffing or dressing, fried or baked with the turkey. Is there an essential side that needs to be on Mike Locksley's plate this Thursday?
You know what, Dave? I'm going to go with the turkey, fried turkey, but I'm gonna make it a smoothie. I'm going to take it, I'm going to grind it up. Yeah, I'm going to add some almond milk. I'm going to take a little bit of like cinnamon and maybe some flax seeds. I'm going healthy. If you haven't noticed, Locks is on this healthy kick right now, man. Stress does this to you. I want to make sure I'm living, so I'm staying away from Thanksgiving. I'm gonna boycott Thanksgiving this year.
Who do you give the smoothie to?
I'm gonna sip on it throughout the course of the day. I love my crab stuffing, man. I haven't had it this year, so maybe get into some of the crab stuffing. Fried turkey for sure. Baked turkeys are dry as hell. Like I ain't into the baked turkey deal.
And in a year like this where there were great expectations, there was the start, there were a couple pitfalls, what do you have to be thankful for with this program, with how things have developed?
I think for me, just having this opportunity, man, as I said here before, man, I was a fired head coach from, Ballou High School that got a chance to get into college football because of the coaches that were like father figures to me. The game of football has given Coach Locke so much that I could never repay it. And for me, anytime I get to pull up, regardless of the record, regardless of wins and losses, having an impact on 18 to 22-year-olds, that once was me. And I can tell you, if we had the internet when Coach Locke was coming up, I'd have been a list guy. I'd have been in trouble. Varun would be writing about me, all the negative things about Coach Locke, because I was one of them. And now look at me, standing up here and tricked them. I tricked you all. But no, I'm thankful to be the head coach here at Maryland. That to me is the most thankful piece for me. Varun, you had one question. Varun, he wanted to end it. You didn't want to let him ask this question. Let's get this one out the way. Let's hear this one, guys.
I wanted to ask about Donnell Brown. What's his impact been on the field and in the locker room?
No, Donnell has been a great addition. He's one of those guys that, as I've said, I like guys on the come up. So I like guys that have chips on their shoulders, that want to prove and show that they can play at the highest level of football. And there's no doubt in my mind, guys like Donnell Brown, Corey Bullock, the list goes on. I mean, who else we got over there? I'm leaving all. Jaquan Shepard. A lot of these guys that hadn't played at this level that we've brought in here that have added and bought in. Donnell has been great for our program, and excited that we hopefully have him for another year, unless you find out he's not playing in the bowl game or something. Keep me in the loop. All right. Thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it.